we're good.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the Village of Skokie Appearance Commission meeting for Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. And we're exactly 7:30. So when you were at your, went in for your building permits, you were understanding what we're going to be doing here tonight. We're looking at the elevations of your house or commercial property, or in some instances it's signage. In some cases, in all cases, neighbors to either side of your residential case were given notification of this meeting, and in some cases those neighbors show up and we give them a chance to be heard as well, and we take their voices into consideration when we're rendering our decisions. Some cases also require some redesign. We're not here to sit here and redesign. You may end up having to go back, make some changes, and come back in the next month's meeting. Also, I want to say that the meeting is being recorded for local cable access, so everybody behave accordingly. When I call your case, please come up to one of the podiums. I think, are the podiums live, Brian? The mics?
Yeah, correct.
Both of them are? Okay.
They should be, yes.
Okay. Come up to one of the podiums. We'll address your case. Mr. Augustine from the Village of Skokie will put your cases up there, and we'll review them that way. In the past, we used to get physical documents. Now we're doing it this way since we're in our somewhat post-COVID environment. That said, anybody who's going to come and speak tonight, whether you're a concerned neighbor or a petitioner, please rise so you can be sworn in by Commissioner DeMario.
Okay, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Looks like we're going to have a lot of speakers tonight. Before we proceed, when I call your case, you'll come up, like I said, to the podium, and then Commissioner DeMario will also read into the record comments we get from the village's community development staff who reviews their drawings for our consideration as well. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was in October?
I move to approve the minutes.
Okay. Anybody second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, you guys please put on your mics, push your green button so that they're live. Okay, so everybody needs to be masked up, but I do a lot of talking, so mine's going to be like this a little bit, so I apologize. Case number 2021-0728, 8630 Keeler Avenue for Jonathan Yahav. Are they here?
I'm representing him.
Then come on up.
I'm supposed to be here, but in a minute, I guess.
Well, it's 7:30, so
Can I be the one to represent them? Or?
yes. Come on up. And you got neighbors here too? Okay, so.
The staff has no concerns with the design. The Zoning Board of Appeals approved a variation of a 3-foot setback for the first floor only. The remainder of the building will need to meet the 9-foot minimum setback requirement.
Has this drawing changed at all from the last submission from last month?
To my knowledge, no. This is
Okay.
the submittal that was
Okay.
supposed to be on for last month when they did
Okay.
not appear.
And I think as we're looking at this, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the projects are made up? I know we have some neighbors here, I think, who want to say something, but
Sure.
But to be clear, we're here to talk about the appearance of the proposed work of any of your cases, this case as well. The zoning commission deals with the zoning issues of a particular case. You weren't here at last meeting, but we listened to the neighbors' concerns on what went on at the zoning meeting, okay? Between then and now, I've asked certain questions of the village staff, and so I have some clarity on that, just to be clear.
Okay. Hey, what's going on?
You need to be sworn in, ma'am, if you're speaking.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
So first, we'll talk about the appearance of this as though this was just some uncontested case, and then I'll listen to what you guys have to say, okay? So, tell us about what we're doing here.
In the simple words, there's about 1,100 square feet addition on the north of the existing house. And there is a pointer right here, this is the addition. And during the process of zoning variance, we were allowed to keep the first floor as it is 3 feet away from the north property line, and 9 feet a second floor. And the attic, that's what we did, and we followed that. So we followed the requirements of the zoning. And regarding the design, it's really very simple. The idea of the design was just extend and keep all the materials and elements of the building match existing house. So I mean, doors, openings, windows, colors, walls, which is matching the existing house as well. So that's basically all. We didn't invent anything. We didn't add any new finishes to it. So it's
So you're matching all existing finishes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, so that photo I'm looking at in the bottom right there, that's getting torn down and we're building something new?
Well, actually, yeah, part of it, the front, where you see those two garage
Uh-huh.
doors,
Yeah.
they'll be
Same as-
removed and kind of pushed forward.
Okay. Okay, and then building up from
And
there?
building up from there, yeah.
Okay. But 9 feet in from the setback?
Correct.
Okay. So from an appearance, so Brian, go back to the elevations, unless there was something else you felt relevant that we should look at. Okay, so the window structure and all that stuff is gonna match existing?
That's
The-
correct.
the
The
appearance
type
of
of
the
the
rail.
window and.
Got it, got it, got it. And the height I'm looking at is, I think you're, okay, I think
Yeah,
you're,
32 and some.
okay,
bunch
so
of
you're,
numbers
you're,
there.
you're below, you're even below the 32-foot max, correct? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, we right on the.
You're below the height requirement.
I mean, actually, right on, right, yeah. That-
Well, it says 30 foot 6 inches. The maximum height in this district is 32 feet.
Right, that's what I was stating. Okay, so you're below that and you're set back. Okay. So real quick, before I entertain what the neighbor wants to say, from an appearance standpoint, okay. Okay, great, thank you. Was there anything you wanted to say? I'm sorry, not you, ma'am. These, if
The
you want,
neighbors.
please come up and speak. This will be like people's court. Dun, dun.
Okay, we're the Finkles, we live
Sure.
directly to the north.
Sure,
Can I take off the mask? or-
Sure.
Okay, all right, so you probably know
I'm
that
not,
there was.
I don't run the health department, but.
Okay. As you know, there was a May zoning appeals meeting initially, which at that time, we were told not to attend because of the COVID. Unfortunately, our neighbor lied under oath regarding us agreeing to the plans and regarding the condition and the need to build his own mikvah, also to build a newer, larger garage, and that's why they scheduled another zoning appeals meeting in July. Which we were there to set the record straight. So our kitchen and our second floor master bedroom face south directly towards this proposed addition. We showed ourselves to be compromising by agreeing to the 3-foot setback on the first floor. Okay, we didn't have to, but we did for the first floor addition. But we wanted this 7-foot setback on the second floor. If we'd have known he was going to plan on building a third floor, we wouldn't have agreed to do I mean, if we knew he wasn't gonna build, if he was gonna build a third floor, we wouldn't have agreed to that 3-foot setback on the first floor. I don't know did you see the letter from our landscape?
I did not, but
Okay.
again, because this is more
I
of
know
a
this
zone.
is an appearance.
Right, and I want you to hear, or I want to hear what you have to say,
Okay, and then,
but,
okay. So I can give you a copy of the letter, but in the letter, it states, and I quote, "A 2-story addition." This is a letter from our landscaping company who's designed and maintained several homes on Keeler along the golf course. In it, she states, quote, "A 2-story addition, regardless of the setback, would have a detrimental effect to the existing plant life, lawn, and even hardscape." I mean, certainly a 3rd-story addition would cause more damage, and it would be a wall outside of our home. Their lot's 2.5 times wider than ours, and if you look at the drawings, you can see plenty of space on the south end and on the west side of their home. They don't need to crowd us in like the plans are. Also, the garage, they said they need a bigger garage, but unless, I mean, I'm not an architect, but it looks to me like the proposed garage is the same size as the old garage. Also, if you look, I mean, the first floor, we agreed to a 3-foot setback, but that balcony looks like it extends beyond the 3-foot into the property line. That balcony, plus the fencing around the balcony is within the 3-foot setback. So that second floor, I mean, if you decide to let them do that, right there, it's against what was
Brian,
agreed to.
does the village view that overhang as part of the setback?
The overhang, you're allowed to have an overhanging eave or gutter into a required yard. They were approved a 3-foot side yard. The balcony railings will have to meet the 3-foot setback.
So that would have to be redrawn, so you know, so
But
that's.
is it not a 9-foot setback on that second floor? Isn't that considered the
So
second
the
floor,
sec-
that
the s-
balcony?
Should be.
The walls of the building have to be set back 9 feet.
Right,
But there are instances where you have an attached garage, that you have a roof, the roof over the attached garage, and people have a balcony over that. This is similar. They are allowed to have the balcony. It's not a room, so it's not part of the addition. It's open to the sky.
okay.
Meaning it's convenient.
It's not,
If they need to have extra space for children running around, it's convenient,
It's allowed.
yes.
Whether it's convenient or not, it is allowed.
Okay.
Yes.
The railings will not be allowed to go into the 3-foot setback.
So as drawn, that would have to be cut
That-
off.
Wait, I just wanna
The
see.
railing along the north,
one
the
Yes.
north line of the railing will have to have a minimum 3-foot setback from the property line.
As well as the wall, so it almost has to align with the wall.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I was
Yes.
gonna say something.
Keep going, sir, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So my wife and I.
I just wanted to address that one issue, because that was low-hanging fruit, so keep
Right.
going.
We both have lived in Skokie since 1960. We built our home in 1991, an empty lot, following all village regulations. We would never do anything to negatively impact our neighbors or do anything to bother them or the appearance of the landscape. And we feel this is not nice what they're doing.
The addition is obtrusive. It's obtrusive. And if you take a look, and I thought maybe somebody from the commission should come look, because we're talking.
Which commission?
you-
Oh, well,
I
it should-
understand.
It should have
No,
been zoning, but
I
yeah, I understand, okay.
I understand. It's so obtrusive, and what they're doing is crowding in so much, they're gonna look right into our master bedroom windows.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we bought and built this lot because of the beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have trees that line along that lot line that are gorgeous. They're 100 years plus, and they're gorgeous. It makes the beauty of the golf course, if you see them. Okay? Those are going to have to come down. It's going to have to flatten it. This is all part of appearance.
Sure.
We could have chosen any other lot in
Yeah,
Skokie.
yeah,
I don't have to
yeah, I
sell you
understand.
on it,
I
because
understand.
you're familiar
Right.
with it.
So,
And what they're doing is crowding it, and they could care less.
mhm.
If you go down Keeler, everybody has a beautiful space between because of its appearance. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Well, in regards to the setback requirement, there was a change in the ordinance, probably 40405, that required larger lots like this to provide a 9-foot setback.
Correct.
So years ago, a 6-foot setback would have been permitted by right. If they built this addition in 2002, the 6-foot setback would have been allowed by right. But now, because of the building boom in 0304, some of the larger buildings, the heights went down a little bit on smaller lots, but on the larger lots, you were able to keep a taller building but provide a larger setback. And it's a 9-foot setback because of that code change about 16 or 17 years ago. Again, and if this was built in 2002, it would be a 6-foot side yard by right, 32 feet tall.
right. So what is the, prior to the zoning board of appeal, what is the current setback what is this, what does the ordinance say that the setback should be? Not the variance, prior to the variance.
9 foot.
Okay,
On the first floor also.
right.
Yeah, it's a 9-foot requirement, and because they were extending the garage out towards
Right.
the front and building up, they requested the variance.
Do these people have recourse to go back and have that revisited, and that they did not contest it because they were basically, in their words, not mine, misrepresented what was happening with the setback?
Now, the zoning board was approved the first floor, voted on the first floor separate than the second floor. I was at the meeting. First floor was voted on separately, approved with the 3 foot. Second floor was voted on separately and denied for the 6 foot.
Right, but approved based on their not objecting.
Well, I'm not sure I don't know if it was
So
specifically
that's
because of
what
that.
I guess that's what I'm asking. Do they have recourse to reopen that case?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay.
It was voted on, they reheard the case, they voted on it, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if the architect can attest, he was at the meeting, I believe Mr. Yahav said if they have to push the building back to 9 feet, they're going to go taller. And the
Correct.
code said 32, says 32 feet by right. If they built this addition without the first floor, they could be under construction with a 32-foot tall building with 9 foot
Right,
setback.
but the garage would also have to be at 9 feet.
Correct, correct.
So
If they
to them,
redo-
it's, to the neighbor, it's a gain. I'm sure the neighbor would be fine with a full 9-foot setback.
We would be
There-
fine with
They
that.
would
There-
prefer, I should say, would prefer that
Well,
to,
when we
The-
did bring it up, we
the,
approved it, but when you brought it up and I mentioned it to them, they said, well, if you don't let us do the 6 foot and they push us back to 9 feet, we're gonna go 3 stories up and be really in your face, quote.
so see, here's my dilemma, my personal dilemma. We have a full committee here, I'm sure, have their own dilemmas. We've had several cases in the past where we've, not necessarily with these lot sizes, okay? But where we've taken into consideration the impact of the neighbor, especially when it comes to trees. How many tree cases have we had? But I feel for both parties, but I feel for the neighbor in that when you have such a massive lot, the need to encroach to a 3-foot setback is, I don't know, you've got you could put a cattle farm in there. So I'm inclined to me personally to vote no on this. You guys are free to speak what you want, because I've had experience and precedents in the past where I've voted no simply because I thought it was overly obtrusive to a neighbor. The zoning case, I can't do anything about that. That's not our purview, okay? But I would think that, first of all, it needs to be redrawn because the balcony is is into the setback, which isn't allowed. And I think that when we talked about 32-foot ceiling heights on properties, I don't know that I don't know, did the zoning people look at this exact elevation, or did they just talk about setbacks?
no, I believe it was a different elevation.
Okay, so,
But with a note that,
Right.
again,
Right.
from my understanding, is that the owner said he's gonna go taller, and the zoning board said they're not approving the second floor.
correct, so, I mean, so then, if, obviously, this person wants to go as tall as they can go, but, and they are, I suppose, allowed to, but I don't like the fact that that's such an encroachment on the first floor with only 3 feet.
Yeah, the existing garage is 3 feet. When there's a bit,
Right, but the existing garage so is non-conforming to begin with.
Well, years ago, there was an addition completed between the main house and the garage, which was 3 feet.
Was it permitted?
Yes, there was permitted. I found a letter from, I believe, one of our old deputy directors. And they were able to connect the existing house, this might have been in the 80s or early 90s.
Okay.
So they were permitted to connect, no variation required, and the existing garage is 3 feet, and the variation was to extend the garage out to the front 8 to 10 feet approximately, to continue the existing 3-foot established setback, and then they wanted the 6-foot side yard, and that's what was voted down. But the garage currently stands as 3-foot setback. There's no question. And it was a detached garage when it was constructed from the research I
And
did.
they connected it.
Correct.
What some people would call
Correct.
a breezeway, if you will, but probably more than a breezeway. Anybody have any comments one way or the other? Not even zoning issues, just more about the size, the location of it within properties, stuff like that.
I have a question for you, the Finkles. If the third floor was eliminated, would that change your objection?
No, we agreed to a 3-foot setback on the first floor and a 9-foot setback on the second floor.
As a
But
second.
but not a third
They
floor?
weren't aware of it.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any other
I
questions?
kind of feel like
Sir, you can come
Oh.
stand up at the podium, you don't have to sit in your chair.
personally, I feel like there's all this breath
I
in the
know.
front of the building. And I feel like there's this attempt to really crunch this area. And if you know that street, you know that there's a lot of beautiful space between. And I don't support this personally.
Okay. Joe, you're looking at me like,
This
nice.
is really challenging because, you know, we're appearance. And from a design standpoint, it makes sense what they're doing. I live next to a house right around the corner that is 2.5 stories, that's 3 feet away from to the property line. And I don't like it.
It's 2.5 and how many?
It's 2.5 stories and 3 feet,
Mhm.
3 feet off the property line, but it's grandfathered, it's, I bought it and I knew it was there, so that's the difference.
Mhm.
The fact that the existing garage is 3 feet away from the property line it is what it is. It's there. Everybody knew it was there. It's been there for a long time. It seems to me the balcony, the wraparound balcony is almost, it's unnecessary and it's really obtrusive to the neighbors. Because that's outdoor space. It's essentially over the top of the neighbor's property, that close. And the side elevation, if you could pull that up, Brian, the north side elevation, there it is. You know, if there's a way to configure that north elevation so it's less obtrusive, it would just seem like it would solve a lot of the looking in the bedroom window thing. I understand, I walk by here almost every day, and I've been staring at it, and it's a tough one because we're not zoning, we're not plan commission, we're appearance. But there's got to be a way that you can resolve the neighbor issues because you're always going to be there. You're putting in a huge investment. Your neighbors have a huge investment. It's really well maintained. The whole street's really well maintained. Is that balcony necessary for those lower rooms? And you call the upper room a master bedroom, those are north side windows. Is there any way that those can be somehow reduced so that they're not looking down into the neighbors, which is essentially their side yard?
It is a little odd looking when you look at this elevation, the top elevation, that all of a sudden it's got a
It's this
certain
room
look
up
to it, and
there.
all of a sudden, there's this third floor up in the lot, and it does look like an addition.
I think it is an issue of the appearance.
Mhm.
It's too close, it's too massive.
It's, all of a sudden, you've got a gable on the left side, whereas the right side is hipped of the elevation.
Yeah, so the repose of the sun is blocking sunlight from the neighbors. You're below the maximum height. That's where the challenge is. It's like you fit within the zoning, but from an appearance standpoint, it just seems kind of heavy.
You overmassed you maximize to what your allowable
Yeah.
situation is. Julie, you said, I know he wants to speak, but I think you probably want to hear us all, and then if you want to address something.
Understand.
Well, I got one more thing about the
Sure,
balcony
go ahead,
on the
Tom.
north side. You've got such a beautiful backyard. The pool area and the pool covering and everything you're doing is great. You've got a view of the golf course to the west. This is the north side. You really need to have a balcony that's essentially hanging over the neighbor's yard. It just doesn't seem like it. It doesn't serve aesthetically the house. And when you look at the floor plan, which we had last time, I don't know if we've got it in this package.
It's online.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
there.
it's cool to have a balcony, but it really doesn't serve anything when you've got all of this outdoor space
Right.
all the way around. So, it just, I don't know, it seems like there's a solution here that could be made that satisfies things, that doesn't leave the house really heavy on the north side.
Julie, what did you have?
Oh, I just said I feel like it's too crowded on that side. It doesn't fit the feel of the front of the house too. It's so wide and open. I would not support it.
Okay, sir, I'm sorry, you wanted to make some statements?
Yeah, just if you can compare the drawings which we submitted for zoning, we show 2-story addition, and this is 2.5-story or 2-story and attic. So the top of the roof is the same height. So basically, we're not adding it to the size of the height of the building, if you will. I hope you can have those two drawings to compare. So the building is not any bigger than we were on a zoning meeting. So just letting you know that we basically lower the eaves and making the attic basically out of the 3rd floor. So it's a sloped roof inside, and then there's not that much room there. So it's not bigger curvature, if I can use that word. If the previous presentation, the top of the roof is maybe a foot higher, because we just wanted to get to the maximum which you allowed, but we can lower that and match like we were showing last time.
I think where we're gonna go with this, unless somebody wants to make a motion to approve, I think where we're gonna go with this is, I think there's enough, you've heard some of our comments. The balcony we think is basically unnecessary space. You probably just did it because you had to do a setback. And you figured.
Well, there was a room and there was nothing against the law, and that's what, yeah.
Right. But when you look at it, it's like step down from left to right. It just seems to go, high, a little lower, then a little lower, then all the way in the right half, you're like 4 or 5 feet lower or whatever. So I think that's a clumsy look right there on the left. And the front, I think you just need to kind of get creative and redraw this thing to make it look less massy.
So,
And I would think that when you would do that, you would maybe take everybody's concerns, ours and theirs. I know that the zoning has done what they've done. I'm sure that these people are gonna pursue whatever avenues they have to do.
Right.
It's a shame. I hate to see Hatfield McCoy's situation, but,
so my understanding is.
you know what I mean? I mean, like, why is there that gable on the left? I mean, it could just be a simple few lines, you know what I mean? And change some of your interior layout to where you're not so high and so massed. In fact, even take
Can
it down.
you show me the gable? Which gable are you talking about?
Brian, upper left corner of the, that.
So those two gables on the north side.
The one on the left. I mean, like I told you, on the far right of that elevation, it's hipped. And on this, you've got a gable staring right at, I think it's even 2 gables staring at, right there.
That's right.
Staring at a neighbor that's 3 feet away and a bunch of trees.
Well, we thought
So-
it's better view than having the flat, straight roof, but it's,
I'm telling you to be,
Yeah.
you're the architect, right? And the builder or whatever you are, but, if I were to look at that elevation and if that was facing the street, I'd say that looks ugly. Because you've got, I don't know, that's obviously the downspout or whatever, but it doesn't make sense.
maybe if you show in color, that there's a color elevation.
I think I think
That's
you guys, you got enough feedback, right? On
Okay.
where we're going with this. We got 28 minutes in on this case already.
So what's the suggestion, to come again next month?
Yeah,
and
I
with the-
think you need to look at it, I think you need to look at it to take in what you've heard everybody. Julie said it's very heavily massed to that side of the whole elevation. I think I kind of gave you that same feedback. Tom's thought was, I
Make it
forgot.
lower.
Yeah, I mean, maybe try bringing it down, whatever, a little bit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you can even see it in your bottom right drawing, your high, that's your highest point of a, I don't know how many foot long house. You've got so much stuff going on that side of the house with the pool and everything like that. Try to understate this thing a little bit, you know what I
Alright.
mean?
Can I just ask something really
Sure.
kind of silly? Is it true that this was the original, like, clubhouse of the golf course?
Not to my knowledge.
I
The
don't think so.
White House, a
Yeah.
few to the north, was the architect for the golf
Right.
club. Altshuler, Walter Altshuler's house, the one that it just recently sold.
Just
But-
because the way it's built, like, is huge and massive as it looks, it's not great
Well,
living
that's the
space.
nature of the house, and
Right.
that's how we're gonna follow.
So you got enough
I think
feedback?
I
You know,
got
look,
the idea.
We're willing to work with you, and we do take neighbors' considerations, and a lot of times we tell the neighbors, hey, sorry, there's nothing we can do, because we believe in that.
Yeah, we just hope that, once we went to the process of zoning, all that
Right.
hardship from the owner and our side, redesigning, designing like several times, we're done with this. And now I think it's kind of
Well,
getting back to the
I-
zoning, which.
Yeah, I think
we follow.
I think you don't have to go back to zoning. You just have to design us to a point where we don't think that that's overly massive
Okay.
over on the left.
The
The zoning board ruled, and Brian's saying that that the neighbors have no recourse on that, I guess. That's meant, they might be pursuing their own recourse, I don't know, but, we want everybody to be happy. We want you to get the project you want and make this go swimmingly.
All right, see you
So-
next month.
So, yeah, so you guys go get creative, and then, if you get, again, you got 10 days before the next meeting to turn in whatever your next look is, but give that some thought.
All right.
Okay?
We will.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. Case number, everybody okay with that? What happened
Sure.
there?
Yes.
Okay, case number 2021-076A, 9041 Tamaroa Terrace for Christian Petrian, a residential other case, whatever that means. Maybe it's a doghouse.
Staff recommends a larger window in the dormer or possibly an eyebrow window. Overall, staff has no objections with the remainder of the building.
I promise you all that none of your cases are going to take that long, so. Unless there's neighbors here who, and if there are any, again, this is something I failed to mention. If there are any neighbors here when I call a case, please feel free to come up and stand at the opposite podium.
Unless I get started.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry, Tom, can you reread that, because I get a little chatty?
Sure. The staff recommends a larger window in the dormer or possibly an eyebrow window. Overall, staff has no objections with the remainder of the building.
So what are we doing here?
I'm putting a gable roof over the existing garage. Right now it's a flat roof, and I wanna put a gable roof with an attic in there for
Oh,
storage.
so it's not just a roof thing, you're building an addition,
That's an attic.
It's an attic.
okay.
Yeah. That window does look a little smallish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, the gable looks a little small. Is there a reason to have such a small gable? Why wouldn't you make it even a bigger gable and put a double window in there or something?
I can do that.
I'm just making a suggestion because,
This
Yeah,
is
see,
the
this-
existing house,
Yeah, this is
correct?
the existing house.
Yeah, this is actually really an important thing here. And the proportions of the windows, he actually mimicked the proportion of the one window above the garage in that gable. So that's why I was kind of curious, and I wanted to see that and kind of listen to what was going on. But, the reason why is because I noticed you just replaced the windows a little while back, and they're kind of cool looking, so I noticed them. But it does seem, I think more so than the window being small, is that the facade is just really flat where your gable is, and I don't know what you know, what would make it a little bit more interesting, because if you look at the original house with the
Which,
flat
which
roof,
gable are we talking about?
over the garage is the
Oh,
new
the
addition.
one facing us in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the front
okay.
elevation. So, yeah,
Oh.
that there is, and then there's like a side gable.
I was
That's-
talking about the little side gable.
That's a
That-
doghouse that faces the side elevation, so that's all, like,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's,
that's on the
but it's
side.
still a new gable.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
little punch
But
gable.
that whole thing there, that whole triangle above the garage is new.
Yes.
And then there's a gable that faces south on that new
The little dormer
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, dormer.
Dormer.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say, sorry.
It just seems like, again, the window appears small because there's nothing else going on that facade except for the garage door and that window. If there's a way that you could either put some kind of a, what am I trying to say, like a pergola, like something that some articulation between the garage and the gable.
Okay.
Well,
So it doesn't-
horizontally
Some
from,
transition.
Yeah.
horizontally from the entryway
Right.
roof to the other,
On top of the garage door.
right there, yeah, oh, no, from there,
From
right.
there.
All the way.
To there.
Okay.
See, because this window is the same proportion as those ones.
So what's-
If this window is the same size, it actually looks like these are a little bigger.
It's smaller, yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
bit
so
smaller.
I
So-
think it needs to be the same simply because,
Staff's,
Yeah, I
com-
agree.
staff's comment was the dormer window.
That's a good
I'm
call.
sorry.
Correct.
Right,
That little bit, just a little bit, just a,
right. But what is the material on the front elevation of this addition that I'm looking at in the bottom? Is it brick?
It's thin veneer stone.
Okay.
Or a sample of it.
Yeah, so come up with like a limestone detail above the garage door that runs across there.
That
okay?
breaks that
And
plane.
then,
Right
Yeah.
at that dash
and then on
line.
your little punched dormer on the right,
Okay.
Brian, show me that little. That nobody can see from the street, make that look better, okay?
Yeah, could have
Okay.
a
I
eyebrow.
mean, you're free to go bigger,
I can make it a
You
little
can't
bit.
Or
go
double,
higher.
Put a
double
double
hung.
Wider.
right, or something like that, but
Okay.
a double hung might work in there or something like that, so.
Or vertical casement or.
All right. Or bring it forward, and that way I can put a. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, everybody
Make it
okay
a-
with,
Yeah, it could be.
everybody
enlarged
okay
a
with those
little bit,
changes?
Something. to
Tom, make a
fill.
motion to speed it up.
Sure. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case number 2021-076A at 9041 Tamaroa Terrace, provided that a larger window is employed in the new dormer, and a horizontal band of stone be employed above the garage door.
Anybody second? All in favor?
Aye.
So passed. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, quick question.
Yes.
Is there any way I can get the option with the? I get what he was talking about. Just a fake eave, pretty much, something to put on top of the garage door.
I think that would actually be more appropriate than a stone band. Just
Yeah. Go ahead.
something that articulates the
Yeah,
difference between the two.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
it's not so
Yeah.
flat.
All right, perfect. Thank you very
the
much.
fake eve is granted, Brian. All right, case 2021-077A, 4038 Brummel Street, Javier Espino, second floor addition.
The staff has no concerns with the design. Due to the size of the addition, fire sprinklers will be required for the entire building. The elevations do not show a building height. The proposed addition will need to meet the 26-foot maximum height.
Oh, ma'am, are you a neighbor?
Yes.
Okay, great, just sit there and watch. Have you seen I
I didn't know
Okay,
anything,
good, so
like when they were talking about it, I
No,
didn't know.
no worries. So as we're gonna go through it, ask them some questions, feel free to speak up when we get to you.
Thank you.
Site plan, addition in the back, new detached garage in the back goes, addition in the back, new one-car attached garage with a side drive and an addition up. With a new small one-car detached garage in the back to meet the 2 off-street parking space
Oh,
minimum.
wow. Taking a
So
lot
he's
of the
he's
yard.
basically relocating a detached garage, building a
But
new.
he's keeping an attached
Right,
one.
and then he's got another attached garage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new south front elevation.
Uh-huh. All right,
Front no color, rear,
Do Do we know what the height of it is, sir? It wasn't listed on the drawing.
The height will definitely meet all the requirements. It
Wow.
will be less. Yeah, we should have noted, but it's definitely less,
I mean, it looks to me like it's in the 26-ish range.
something like that, yeah.
It'll have to be, was it report 26 on the report?
That's what-
26.
That's the, it's because of the lot width, that's the
Yeah,
maximum
so that's,
height is
you cannot go
26.
higher than 26.
Right.
And
I think
this, on the south end, this will be definitely a shorter height.
Do you have the
than
material
50.
samples, sir?
Well, the material, the roof is gonna be like a asphalt shingle, an architectural asphalt shingle, like a slate blend color.
Slate blend, okay.
Yeah, the brick shown there is not gonna be exactly this one, it's gonna be more like a reddish brick, darker reddish brick, instead of that pink
Okay.
somewhat. The standing cement roof for the front porch is gonna be like a
It's
like a bronze.
it says
to match
bronze.
the window frames,
like a dark bronze,
like
like a,
a dark bronze,
yeah.
yes. And then the door, the garage door itself is gonna be
Yeah,
more like
that's
a
fair.
carriage style door with a dark brown, to sort of similar to the front door, although the front door is gonna have some opaque glass in the middle.
Anybody have any questions, including you? Do you have any questions? Do you like the way it looks there, that?
No,
To
I
me,
hate it.
the
but-
above
Oh,
is
did ya?
right.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I guess,
Mm.
because where the, I feel like there's nothing I can do about the house, but you see where the garage is? That's an empty patio space. And my house, the best part about my house is the dining room windows that face that space, and their first floor has the best
Did we-
western exposure.
Yeah, Brian, did we get any neighbor photos with the, with the package? Okay, here we go.
So I won't see that, that's my house.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that garage goes all the way to that fences, then it's like this garage is right next to my house. Like,
I'm sorry, is the house, which
mine
house
is on the right,
Oh, okay,
that's me.
That's yours, south,
Yeah.
bottom right.
okay.
Yeah, I'm on the east. So that, I get no light, and this garage now is like right next to my house.
Are you, is the house being built to the right or to the left?
Left.
So see the one on the left with the blinds? That's
That's-
their house.
Okay,
And then that one on the right,
that's
that's
you.
mine,
Okay.
So the garage,
It's going right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah, so then I get no light, and see where their umbrella is?
Yeah.
That, and that fence? I don't know how far the garage, but that's gonna be a garage?
here's the survey. So this is where the one-car attached garage would be, where this patio is now. It would, the requirement is a 4-foot setback, and they are proposing the 4 foot. There'd be a one-car garage here, driveway, this garage goes out, small garage here, and then a little addition in the back and then up.
Oh. Yeah, and it's, what is it, a 44 lot?
Yeah, that's why they can only go to 26 feet
Right.
tall. If the lot was over 45, they'd be able to go 2 feet taller.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just hate that there's I'm saying the look of the house, there's nothing offensive about the look of the house, is that correct? Feel free to pull your mask down. You're more than 6 feet away from me.
I mean, I don't know, I don't like change, I'm home all day, they're gonna be pounding all
Well,
day, all weekend. But it's mostly, I think, the house itself, I mean, I have to accept the fact that I'm not gonna get my light, that now it's darkness, but I think the garage to me is like right there, and that's,
Yeah.
And one benefit is this is a one-car garage, it doesn't go the full length back, and
Right.
the second floor above is smaller. It's not the full depth of the
Right.
house.
oh,
You see that, man, that the house the second floor only goes that,
Right
This
to there.
far, it does not go all the way
it
back.
doesn't go all the way back.
but where does it,
The second floor would be this, where it says, see, it's existing first floor.
yeah.
Brian, scroll up a little bit and kind of draw in where
So-
you probably can't do
So
that.
this is where the patio roughly is now.
Right. Okay, and then where your kitchen is, right? Okay. Does the garage go up to where your kitchen is? Or is that where the second story starts? You know what I mean?
Can I answer the, I'm the architect, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, can you ask, because I'm
Yeah.
just visualizing it.
Presently, there is a little appendage to the east, which is gonna be torn down. So that appendage is where, if you look at the floor, the site plan, yeah, you see the little appendage there? It's
Back
about
here.
4 feet something. That's gonna be removed, and basically the addition, the garage, is a single-car garage, we are meeting the requirements. We're setting it back from the street, from the main house, to sort of create like a subordinate. And then we are sloping the roof in the front to create less mass with a
Right.
dormer, so it looks a little bit more pleasant from the street, and it doesn't create a huge volume.
I think, Brian, go to the
So-
elevations real quick. All right, and, yeah.
So it does build over the garage.
Right.
That's-
But it's not as deep as the
Yeah,
main
but-
house is,
yeah,
and it's
but
not as deep as
go-
the,
Go to the side elevation, not that, the other one, the one with the garage, is that,
That's the one.
so there, so see that? Show her the line where then it goes back, I don't know, 15 feet?
Yeah, at least.
So that's not one big wall that's right on you. Obviously, the garage
The
is.
garage,
Yeah.
Is not on you, it's within their legal requirement.
I
But
know.
but as opposed to running it all the way down, they stepped it back in to give more space there. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
No, I don't know.
The setback there is much greater than the setback where the garage is.
Okay.
Where the garage is, you might have 4 feet to the property line. Beyond that wall, the back wall of the garage, you have, what, 10?
maybe 8,
Even
10.
more. even more.
By
10?
16.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
The
See,
bottom
the
line is
idea
the-
is also from that side elevation, not to create a huge mess.
Yeah,
So to break it down, and even the new addition, the back steps back even farther,
yeah.
so it's less obtrusive and it doesn't create that much volume and shadow from the.
I think
the
what we're
adjoining
saying is,
neighbor.
they did probably what the minimum interruption that they could do,
Yes,
given what they could possibly have done, which was kind of like a case like the other side, like you had heard earlier.
Yeah, well, that
right.
was a monstrosity,
Right,
but
right. So,
let's be real.
so given what you see there and given the materials and stuff like that,
It is what it is,
Okay.
right?
thank you for coming in.
But
Do you have any other
when does
questions?
this start?
I don't know, it takes,
Okay.
probably, I don't know.
Spring.
Yeah, February,
spring.
February, March, they'll probably start digging, I would imagine.
yeah, even if they apply for a building permit within the next couple weeks,
And
the
we will-
assumption is digging wouldn't begin until spring with the weather changing.
Right when you're out there to plant your stuff.
Right when I'm planning a vacation.
There you go.
Good
All right,
idea.
anybody want to make a motion? Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
participation.
I would just like to say the elevation is really nice.
Yeah,
It's well proportioned, it's not too tall, it fits
It's very
well with
cute.
the
It's a
existing
cute
house.
house.
I really have to commend you on that, it looks really good.
we take a lot of pride in what
Yeah.
we're doing, so, thank
All
you.
right, Joe, make a motion.
I make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness to be granted for case number, this is Brummel,
Yep,
2021-077A, located at the address as presented.
anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so passed. All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being good and explaining what was going on as well.
It's really
Case
cute.
2021-078A at 9049 Kildare Avenue, Aaron and Elishaba Cohen, first floor addition.
The
Right.
staff recommends adding a window on the north elevation of the addition. The staff has no concerns with the overall design.
We'll see about that. Rafi, you're doing one-story additions now?
I have the mighty have fallen.
Trying to see what north elevation where they want the window.
Well, tell us what's going on first. We used to
Yeah,
be able to flip through drawings and stuff, and
Yeah,
now we're kind of,
they're extending,
what's existing and what's new?
There's an existing,
Split level.
What's new is this little piece,
Here.
that area. And
Okay.
part of that is existing. The part closer to the garage, it's a frame, like a den.
Okay.
So we're taking that out, and then there's a little bit area so that they can extend the den in the kitchen.
Okay.
And
This
the
is,
reason,
this is the area, the suggestion was about the
Okay.
possibility of any
the
window.
reason there's no window there is that they have
A wall of
built-ins for the
cabinets.
kids.
A wall of cabinets, right?
Yeah, kids
Okay, I
play
get it.
and toys and
I
things
get it.
like that.
Wait,
Materials are all
A wall of
naturally existing.
cabinets. It's all
Oh,
cabinets,
oh,
so you
yeah.
can't put a window in.
But there's a large window on the other side, the walk out to the yard, so
Like
it's
I
a
said,
big
we'll see
patio
if the
door.
staff is
Yeah.
right.
So that's the east rear elevation, correct?
We're matching
Here,
all existing materials?
It's all existing, match existing materials.
Okay, and this isn't the front of the house, this is?
No, this is the side.
Okay.
Against the neighbors.
Any, Julie, you wanna?
It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I move that a certificate of appropriateness, be granted in case 2021-078A at 9049 Kildare as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed, so passed. Next case, 2021-79A at 9525 Hamlin. Alon and Cindy Redlick, and residential new construction at 9525 Hamlin, a long vacant lot.
The staff has no concerns with the design. The maximum height allowed is 32 feet.
It's a huge lot.
Wow.
It's a huge lot.
You lugged them all in, so you can show them. I had to hold the door for you.
Thank you. It's a stone house with limestone surrounds around the windows and doors. There's a band breaking the second floor and the first floor.
Yep.
We kind of played around with the eaves and things just to break it up so it's not one large mass. I think
What am I seeing there on those
Yeah, what's
three
on the
windows to
left?
the right of the garage door? Are those like
Three
shutters?
windows.
These?
Yeah.
No, those are like a full floor to ceiling windows, doors.
Like French doors.
They're French doors.
They're operable?
Going
Yeah.
out, going out to what?
Really, there's gonna be landscaping in front, nothing, no, they're not, it's just for them to be able to open up those and have a large opening. The windows look kind of weird, the proportions as a window, when you raise them, it gets kind of weird, they get
Thanks, Brian.
squatty in relationship to the width. of
Okay,
it.
I mean, in the rendering, it looks, seems to look fine. Okay, I just, it did, in two-dimensional and black and white, it was like putting bars over these windows.
Well, the windows seem to come down pretty far.
They come to the floor.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
windows are
But
at the
Yeah.
floor.
you need to have room to have landscaping.
Right. I mean, that area, especially that area is, I mean, the landscaping can sit in front of it, and it's got kind of nice from inside you look out, you see the landscaping and you're at that same level, so it feels much more connected to
From
the outside
inside, yeah.
than pulling it up.
I mean, I think it looks awesome. Did you maximize?
No,
This could be the biggest, most amount of times we use the word setback in an appearance commission meeting, but did you maximize the setbacks, or you went?
no,
Awesome.
actually, it's
Okay.
interesting because you can build a larger house on this property
Yeah.
than what we have. But the clients had a specific
To bring it in.
amount of how much they wanted to build.
Awesome.
So.
Is it a single lot? Cause I
It's-
looked at the
It's,
space.
no, I don't know how many lots, I mean,
Oh,
since I've been
Yeah.
involved in it, it was a single lot,
It's
but
99.
oh,
width-wise, looks
Probably
like it
two
could have
and a
been two.
half.
yeah,
at
it
some
looks
point.
large.
Yeah, the side yard on the south is definitely larger than what's required. Only, I don't know if, does any rear even go to the rear there?
Not really care about the rear. Just- Okay,
I think it looks great the way
Yeah.
it is.
Thank you.
And I have no problem at all, but fiddle with the height of the turret to see maybe if you pull it down a little bit closer to the windows. It's just a thought when I looked at the elevation, which is great.
height of the
I'm
what, Joe?
the turret.
To bring the eve line of the turret down?
Yeah, just take a look at it, and
Okay.
it's fine the way it is, but just,
Alright.
you know, as a overall, just
Mhm.
a comment or suggestion, just look at it, it
Sure.
doesn't, you
I'll
know.
take a look.
It just seems like everything is kinda, it looks like a little tippy. It's like a
Okay.
little hat that doesn't fit.
A little
I'll
hat.
take a
But
look.
it does echo the turrets.
Yeah, and which is, that's why I say it's fine, it's
Okay.
just a suggestion.
I'll take a look. I mean, if it makes, I mean, I'll model it, and if it looks
Well,
like it's
yeah,
making
you
sense,
do-
absolutely.
You are the architect.
Show us
and
the
you do a
samples,
fine job.
Rafi, so you can feel like you didn't carry them in for nothing.
So that's the stone.
Okay?
You want me to pick it up?
No, you're gonna hurt yourself.
That's the window
Black-
frame and
black metal?
eaves. Yeah, and that's the roof. And I didn't bring a sample limestone
Okay.
figure.
No, limestone's limestone. All right, Mary Jane,
Fabulous.
if you'd like to make an motion?
Just gorgeous.
Sure. I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted to case 2021-079A at 9525 Hamlin Avenue as presented.
Maybe second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So passed.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Case 2021-080A, 4113 Main, Zeldaco Limited, commercial first floor addition and facade.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
The staff
Sir, ma'am.
would prefer an increase in the number of windows on the north elevation. Staff has no objections to the overall design.
How are you?
Hi.
Good. We won't bite, contrary to what you've heard so far. So this is,
Catering?
this is to the east of Skokie Boulevard by a few blocks.
Wester Crawford.
4100, is that Crawford?
Wester Crawford, a
Wester
little over
Crawford.
block.
What, Keel, is
Block
it
is
Keeler?
there.
It's east of Keeler, one block east of Keeler,
Okay,
Kedville.
okay.
Is that
Cadvale.
Rendering in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
4113.
It's the old music,
Oh, the,
yeah.
Band and orchestra?
Where is that thing?
Where? Is it there?
we could use,
That's the wrong case. I did
That's
bring the
principles.
rendering.
Up, here we go.
There we go.
so you're taking the whole mall,
Yeah, so.
knocking it all down, right?
Yeah, what we have is the retail building, the leases, recently ended, and they're going to expand Zelda's into that existing retail building, and it's gonna be more of an office building and equipment storage.
Wait, just so, for a point of reference, is it also the Evanston Band and Orchestra Mall, or just the other, it's not that mall,
It's east
right?
of
It's
there.
the one,
East of there.
Mike, so the addition is going in front, and they're taking this whole thing here, correct?
Yes. And
So
the addition was for additional storage, even though we're expanding into the retail building, we still didn't have enough storage for all the equipment that they have.
So existing currently here,
Existing currently there,
expanding into this entire space
Yes.
and this addition.
right.
so it's, so it is, it's both that, that's a
It's-
big piece of property.
Yeah, it's go all the way, yeah, to
With
Kedvale,
parking.
to the, to the sidewalk.
It's like that
So the idea is
Trubnik,
that-
Paganitz and Company and that whole thing?
Yes,
Okay. That's all, how long, how many feet is that?
it's, about 11,000 feet.
Okay,
Wow.
And the idea is to make it all look like one building.
yeah, well, we would appreciate that,
And to tie it in with the two buildings that are to the east.
yeah, I mean,
So
gonna be
we'll be using
awesome.
similar brick and similar,
so is it gonna be a multi-tenant building?
no, it's gonna be one-use buildings. It's gonna be all Zeldas.
Okay, and I'm
Fabulous.
sorry, what does Zelda's do?
Catering.
Okay, 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 good.
So that's the original Zeldas there right now with the awning. And then those are the neighbors to the east.
So you, I'm assuming Zelda Co. So you guys are the owners and developers of it?
I'm the general contractor.
Okay,
And I'm the owner.
okay, great. And so you guys have acquired the whole property and figured out, get rid of, okay, just curious.
Right, just,
Here's a better picture.
requires a lot of storage.
Yeah.
Equipment, so
Yeah.
we just need space.
Okay.
for that.
I mean, that's a bold move. I'm happy for you.
It's awesome.
We're happy for us too, it's been a really tough year and a half.
I know. No, congratulations, so.
And if you could go back to the rendering, what we've done, I know there was a comment on the windows. The whole north elevation is windows. And those windows right there on the right part, those line up with the offices that are in those spaces.
Uh-huh.
And then we added windows in the addition. Those windows line up between the aisles where the equipment storage is. So we maximize the amount of windows we could put on the north elevation. That's it, yeah, keep going, one more, right there. So you can see those offices, how they line up on the north wall. That's the existing Zeldas there. And then see that's the storage addition.
Yeah.
See all that racking in
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
We got windows between all the racks.
Yeah.
That's at
You're
the back.
asked and answered, you're.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, let's just go back to the rendering, Brian, and just take us through the materials real quick, and we'll make this quickly for you. What are we doing for the material?
So the lower,
You may have said this already, and I probably wasn't listening, so.
yeah, the lower band is gonna be masonry,
Uh-huh,
and that brick is gonna tie in with the bricks, similar to the bricks there for the
Yeah.
buildings to the east. And then the driving colors are these two colors here.
And they're matching the existing Zeldas?
Yeah, the existing building, I think, is this color. We're going a little
Okay.
two-tone.
so the drive that I'm looking at is everything from the coping at the top down
Yeah,
to
the
the,
limestone sill going up and the coping down, yes.
but the light colored bands above the windows,
That's this color.
and that's drive it,
That's
okay.
It's all drive it.
How about the landscaping for the building?
The landscaping is existing. We're putting new landscaping around the addition.
Okay.
Is there any place to add some trees?
You don't see the trees. There's trees.
Yeah, on the Kedvale side,
Right.
it seems like that section of Main Street is really kind of bare.
Yeah, that's right.
And if there's any islands where you can add a tree, like at that front corner.
Perhaps on that one corner, we could put a small tree. It does widen out there. If you look at the.
Yeah,
Where there aren't
I think that
windows.
would really help things. If
Brian,
it-
can you
if
go
it
back, go
works
back
with
to
the-
the plan of the space,
If it works with the
of the-
vision triangle.
the lot?
The only thing is the vision triangle might
It
be,
widens out on just to the west of the addition. There's a spot there I could put probably a couple small.
I guess, I mean, so the existing flat concrete work, are you redoing all of that in front of the whole thing? Okay,
New parking lot.
Okay.
New sidewalks,
so
new curbs.
there's the opportunities in the new parking lot to get some trees in if you can. Obviously, you're gonna probably have to throw some lighting in there too, but, okay. We would appreciate that if you spent a couple $1,000 on some
And
good
we're gonna
trees.
have some new planters in front of Zelda's there, the original building. There's gonna be some planting area, there's gonna be a wrought iron fencing in there.
Right.
It's gonna look very, very
Right.
nice.
I can see why there's not trees now, because it's literally all flat concrete, but
Right,
since you're gonna redo it all, if you could get a couple of islands of trees, that would help. Would you agree? All right. Joe, hit it.
I move that a certificate of appropriateness be granted for the case number 2021-080A at 4113 Main Street, as presented, however, with the suggestion of adding trees where, in the new parking lot area.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so passed.
Thank
All right,
you.
Thanks very much. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Good luck.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm
Looks
excited
great.
about this.
Case number 2021-0828, 9800 Lawler, Niles Township School, District 219. It says educational edition.
Staff has no concerns with the design.
That's never a good sign.
We don't have too many neighbors, so that's good.
I don't think anyone from the mall is
All
here,
right,
so.
all right. What's your setback?
Oh, boy. We are further back than the existing
Okay,
building,
good,
so there we go.
Good.
So we're proposing a 3-story addition while we get to it for the high school primarily. First 2 floors will be offices,
Which, I'm sorry,
Niles
forgot-
North.
what's the
North.
address?
9800 Lawler.
And what school would this be?
Niles North.
Oh, okay,
High school.
got it.
So it's 3-story addition, matching the existing 3-story frontage along Lawler in elevation. First 2 floors will be primarily office space, 3rd floor will be primarily student space. So it'll still function as the main student and visitor entrance for the building. Get to it. So there we go. So currently the new entrance is towards kind of the left of that image, and this is kind of taking up the current entrance plaza area approach to the building for a new 3-story addition.
So, this is at
Is it on the north end?
is
Yes.
it the northeast corner of the, what you would consider the
Yes.
property? Okay.
Yes. So kind of the corner of
So
Lawler
it
and
face-
Old Orchard.
It does face Old Orchard Road, and it faces Old Orchard itself, so,
Right,
okay.
Right.
Oh, that's cool.
So the Hate Has No Home Here banner, that's the existing portion of the building. The current entrance is kind of tucked right around there, so we're kind of wedging in between
Okay.
the nook of the building, and then the addition is proposed forward. We're proposing,
I'm sorry, so is everything I'm looking at to the right of the Hate Has No Home here, that's the addition?
pretty much, yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And then in this image, exactly, that is the addition, and the part of the building that's in the foreground here is the existing building.
And you're intending that to be your new main entrance to the building, or?
It is currently the main entrance, and we're rebuilding it and actually bringing it closer to the parking lot.
Makes sense to me. I've always wondered why there was all that snow and everything.
Yes.
Kids,
A lot
you
of
know.
people are gonna enjoy it during the cold
Oh,
months,
yeah.
that's for sure. It's
Yeah,
shorter
yeah.
walk to your car.
It will be much
I
better.
think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Materials, similar to the existing building, so the brick will be the same to match the existing brick, which will be our stair tower, kind of the 1 and 2 areas. We are proposing some play as far as the texture of the brick itself by pushing in and out, which is the brick pattern, the embossing brick pattern on the higher portions. Item 3 is a fiber cement board that would be similar in color to the existing 3-story part of the building on Lawler to match the precast, just in a different material. And then we have some metal panel, aluminum composite metal panel in a champagne bronze finish, which matches the existing windows and roof coping materials on the building, and a kind of light purple color shifting metal panel for some accent, which is the school color.
Are you with the architect?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I did not introduce
No,
myself.
no,
Okay.
because you sound like you're with the school district, but yet
No.
I never knew somebody with the school district to have so much knowledge about what they're doing on their building, so.
Tim is with the school district. He's assistant superintendent.
Great,
Very little
right.
knowledge
That's
about
why, that's why Tim turned it over to you. Awesome, I think it looks really cool, and
I agree.
it's nice you got your purple in there, and that's, that'll be cool. Anybody have any comments? I'm sure that you're gonna go
Just
top
a
of the
pet
line with
peeve.
whatever landscaping could be taken care of and stuff
Yes,
like
so
that,
we're not showing the landscaping in that image
Right.
because we want to be able to get comments on the building,
Sure.
but there will be some light landscaping. We're actually hiding currently the 3 large trees that are out there. They're not being torn down, so
Okay,
they are staying.
Yeah, I just have a pet peeve about the window treatments in the building that face Lawler anyway. They're always just,
All over the place?
yes, looks really messy.
she'd be happy to recommend new ones for Tim to pay for.
But you know, we got a lot of windows up here too, so, I mean, there's student areas, the top.
Yes,
Well, I would assume your window treatments here would be roller shaded.
yes, they'll be roller shades, not blinds.
No,
So it might look a little
Oh,
nicer.
I
That
hope it
cleans it
looks
up
be- oh.
immensely, so.
It's just like. a
Somebody wanna
condo.
make a motion?
Sure, I will. All right, make a motion that a certificate of appropriateness be granted in case 2021-082A at 9800 Lawler, as presented.
Anybody second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So passed. All right,
Thank you.
thanks for your patience. I'm sure we're kind of entertained throughout the night, so.
Spectacular, by the way.
That
And
was really awesome.
8:39 PM, meeting's adjourned.
Very cool.
Turn off your
You guys flipped the switch behind you?
Yeah,